And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Ludes, and you can see by the look on my face how over 2K I am right now. All right, so we got our news about tomorrow's pack drops, right? Normally, I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, I would say my videos are for the most part pretty pessimistic sometimes, but genuinely, I'm pretty excited. And generally, both of those words that I constantly mix up. Limited edition packs return tomorrow. Literally nobody wanted this. Like nobody outside of 2K staff and sales team members really wanted these back, but it is what it is. Quick reminder on how these packs work. 3 24-hour drops. Guaranteed pink diamond box topper for 20 pack boxes. I hate this wording that they use on this last one. I just want to point that out. Pack evolves with new pink diamonds available in each drop, also available as the box topper. Okay, first off, the packs don't evolve. You just add two different cards. I just hate that wording. Anyways, I tried to Nostradamus the cards and basically manifest a Tracy McGrady that I wasn't going to get anyway. So far, no T-Mac, but we did get one of my picks was right, which was Paul George, and then another one of my picks was sort of right. So, Pink Diamond Paul George, he'll be in the packs all weekend, similar to how MJ was in the packs originally. Don't expect Paul George to be under 150K at the absolute lowest. I would say 200K is about the lowest he's going to get during all 3 days. First day is going to be 500K, and by Sunday, he'll probably be 200, probably around Klay Thompson, kind of what he went for towards the end there. That would be my guess anyway. He'll still be good. He still can't play shooting guard, but he'll be a really, really solid 4 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. On next gen, I absolutely would not run him at the power forward, though. You're just going to get paint smashed into oblivion by a guy with Ha Sung Yin, so I just wouldn't do that. That being said, I mean, Paul George is good. I'm going to go over to 2KDB and look at last year's Paul George. We got around the same time, so we'll see what's up. My second prediction was that we would get a pink diamond Tony Parker, who would be the troll diamond that we would get probably 99% of the time in the box topper, which, by the way, those boxes are going to cost 300K VC, which roughly translates to around 70 something US dollars per box, which is astronomical. Under normal circumstances, I would say, hey, maybe they learned their lesson from last time and lowered the amount of VC it costs, but we're talking about 2K here. I don't think they did. Just being real. New NBA 75 cards. You can see the just ecstatic look of hype on my face right now. We got Kevin McHale Diamond. So, I mean, I was pretty excited about Kevin McHale, to be honest, because I was like, you know what? Kevin McHale cards are usually pretty good early game. They're usually relatively complete. McHale was a decent shooter, decent defender. He's relatively big. So usually those cards are pretty solid in 2K, even the early game ones. But then I remembered that the Pink Diamond Collector level McHale just started being unlocked by people today or yesterday, which means this card is going to be a shell of what he could have been and a shell of that Pink Diamond. So I'm not exactly too stoked. And even the Diamond card itself is going to be possibly over 100K. It just kind of depends. And then we got this guy, Jayson Kidd, who I knew there was going to be a troll Pink Diamond. I knew it was going to be a point guard because it just made too much sense. It could have been anybody, and I mean this with every ounce of my being. It could have been anybody in the world, any NBA player to ever step foot on the court, and I would have been more excited than Jayson Kidd. In addition to Jayson Kidd just being altogether trash in 2K, for the most part, some people like him. I know that I've talked to a couple people who liked him because it helps limit the bad shots they took in 2K20, I believe. I understand that logic, but I still can't get behind a Jayson Kidd card. First off, I'm just going to air this out real quick. There is no person on the NBA 75 list that deserves it less than Jayson Kidd. Jayson Kidd did not deserve to be on the NBA 75. I'll be the first person to say that. I'll stand up and scream it from the mountaintops. The fact that he made the 75 over Tracy McGrady and Dwight Howard to a certain extent. Honestly, Dwight Howard kind of deserved that too. I feel like there's some other guys that deserved it. Comment them down below. But Jayson Kidd is going to come out of 99% of box toppers. And I can't explain to you. I'm not going to open any boxes tomorrow because I cannot explain to you the rage that I will feel if I opened a $70 box and got this guy out of my box. My screen is over here. That's why I'm pointing over here. I would be so enraged. I hate Jayson Kidd so much, dude. We got our first limited edition cards. So these guys are going to be available from Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time to Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time, of which time they will be swapped out for a different one. Jayson Tatum and Sean Kemp. Honestly, I like these picks. And the reason for that is neither of them are like earth shattering. I don't think either of them are going to be incredibly great or even must haves for the most part. I mean, if you look at the last batch of limited edition cards, like the actual 24-hour expiring ones, and then you look at like 250K qualifying squads, outside of Embiid and like sometimes C-Web, you really didn't see any of these guys. Like, they're not premier cards. You know what I mean? They're uber expensive and they weren't really that good. Like Gilbert Arenas is the only buyout one out of them. That's because he's Gilbert Arenas. I mean, I usually like him in game, but other people don't. Like Westbrook was really good. Paul Pierce was okay. He was like a better defensive, worse offensive version of Melo. But if you had defensive badges to put on Melo, it just kind of offset it. So it didn't really matter. Neither could shoot from the corners on current gen. Chris Webber was good. Embiid, really good. But yeah, I just don't. And Zion, I don't think I've ever actually seen in the wild. Like, I don't think anybody owns this card besides card collectors. Truly. Like, I don't believe so. And then even looking at the two pink diamonds we got, I mean, Ben Wallace and Jayson Kidd parallels are so real. Like, you know what I mean? Either way, I think these cards will both be relatively good, just like all the other limited edition cards that we got. Like, every single one of them is good in their own way, but none of them are like game-breaking good. Jayson Tatum has kind of a slow jump shot, but he should be relatively good altogether. And Kemp's going to be a monster, pretty similar to Webber, I would say. I don't think they're that different. So we got this Paul George around the same time last year, December 18th, 2020. It's 11/11 right now. Make a wish. So it's going to be a little bit different. I'm guessing that instead of 10 Hoff badges and 23 golds, he'll have like 7 Hoff badges and maybe like 21 golds and then like 7 silvers or whatever. You know, it's going to be something like that. They're also going to nerf a bunch of these too. Like he'll have an 86 to an 89 three-pointer, you know, 88 speed, 86 speed with ball, 86 ball handle, I would guess. Something around there. Like an 88 to a 91 perimeter defense. 94 is just a little too high right now. Like his vertical is probably going to be down to like 95. His driving dunk's going to be down to like 90 or 89. Instead of having gold limitless or gold Chev, he'll have silver of one of them and then probably not the other one. That would be my guess anyway. Probably gold quick first step, gold space creator, as opposed to Hoff. I don't think we're at the point where we need a Paul George flying around with Hoff quick first step. And if he does, he better not be shooting because that's going to be not tight. Everything else looks about right. Pogo Stick or Chase Down Artist is probably the other badge from this card that they downgrade. And you might be thinking, like, why are you saying it's going to be the same card? 2K is nothing but predictable. If they have, like, you know, a card basically worked out for around this time, they're going to put it into the game the next year. They love to reuse assets. Ask anyone who's a Timberwolves fan. Like, Anthony Edwards has had the same player build since 2K20. He's literally number 1 overall pick in the league, and they are still reusing his assets they put in the game for the next packs in 2K20. Don't question me again about 2K. I promise it's always the same. So yeah, I mean, Paul George would be good. Should you liquidate your entire collection? No. I can't imagine he'll be that much better than Nick Batum. He will 100% certainly be better. But how much better? I can't say for certain. Like, if we're looking at tiers, I would probably put Nicholas Batum I can't remember if he's primary power forward or primary small forward. Either way, we're talking small forwards. I probably put him like high B tier. And maybe I put Paul George in like mid A tier, high A tier. Depends how good his card is. At the absolute most, he's in S tier. So it's not a huge difference. It's a 1 tier difference, you know? Because you could even argue Nick Batum is like low A tier. I don't see it, but some people would. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Nicholas Batum is because Paul George is going to cost like 500K the first day, 250, 300 the second day, and about 200. He's never going to dip below 200 until, like, we start getting like real cards out here. Jayson Tatum, once again, 2K is nothing but creatures of habit. Right around the same time, 4 days exactly after we got Paul George, we got this Jayson Tatum card. And wouldn't you know it, they're releasing both these cards on the same day. And wouldn't you know it, they're probably going to be pretty similar, right? They're going to nuke all of his stats down a little bit, 85 three-pointer. Well, I think his standard card, like his current series one, has like an 85 three-pointer. So they might leave it at a 90, honestly. Yeah, they might. I don't think he has Hoff Sniper. If he does, he might be super overpowered. It just kind of depends. I'm guessing they're going to lower that to gold, if not silver. Limitless is going to get dropped, obviously. They'll probably keep like catch and shoot. I forgot about like antifreeze and hot shot last year. Like these back. I honestly couldn't even tell you what hot shot did. Antifreeze was hilarious because nobody ever got takeover anyways. It didn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, they'll nuke a couple of his badges. Like, I guess it's going to be Sniper, probably. They'll probably leave Hoff Rhythm Shooter as, like, a troll badge, because they like to do that. Probably take down some of his badges, like, give him, like, Silver Clamps, maybe. Or they leave it at gold. Doesn't really matter. Off-ball Pest. I don't think he has Hoff Intimidator, but who knows. Either way, he'll be good, but he's not going to be game-breaking. And Kemp's just going to be a better version of, like, what Chris Webber brought, essentially. So, I mean, that's at least my theory. So let's go take a look at the market and see if anything's like going crazy over there. All right, looking at the market, I mean, where to even start? We'll start with Klay Thompson, right? Klay's price hasn't dropped at all. If anything, it's gone up, actually, which I think is kind of crazy. I expected his price to drop a little bit, but no, his price is going up. They didn't announce any shooting guards, but I think they will. Like, I'm holding firm that I believe a T-Mac is coming. Like a T-Mac or a Giannis is coming. Like, there's no way Paul George is going to be the guy from the set. I mean, if you look at, we'll go look at the other one in a second. Dikembe, honestly, he didn't drop either. But, I mean, Sean Kemp's the closest thing to a big man we got. So, I mean, it makes sense. Wings are kind of what we need to look at right now. Like, don't expect drops in guys like David Robinson or Anthony Davis even. Sean Kemp's not affecting those values. You know what I mean? Vince Carter, I could see him dropping quite a bit because we are getting Paul George tomorrow, but I don't see by how much. Prime time guys are actually really good to look at. Nicholas Batum's price is tanking, like absolutely tanking. I'm going to see how low we can get Nicholas Batum, because if you can get Batum for like 20K, I would say there is absolutely no reason you shouldn't do that. Like, even if he's not making your starting lineup for a bench 4 or a bench 3, absurd. Okay, so he still hasn't dropped that much, but let's see exactly what he's going for. I mean, 39K for Nicholas Batum is a steal. Like, that's a come up. That's a huge come up. And if you're looking for an elite level, like small forward, power forward to pick up, honestly, just pick up the diamond one and do the Evo by yourself. The Evo's not really that crazy. Jamal Mashburn is another guy who's probably going to drop a little bit. Mashburn is still going to be good. I don't think he's worth 70K when Batum's right here, though. That's just my thing. Looking at some of the other guys like Grant Hill, the market's just not crashing, dude. It just doesn't crash when these like limited time packs come out, to be honest, because people know like these aren't going to be popular cards. Like, you know what I mean? We're going to see crashes on like the things you see crash the hardest when it comes to like limited time or signature series coming out are going to be what I call liquid cards. So why I call them that is they're cards that sit in people's collection and they use for certain things here and there. But then when we get a pack drop that they get excited about, they liquefy them instantly. So guys like Mark Aguirre, who are super cheap, somebody probably picked him up for like an XP challenge or something, didn't even finish it, was just like, I'm trying to get MT right now. You know, Rick Barry, guys like that. Tobias Harris would be another guy who's considered a liquid card. People actually like him though. Like Andre Iguodala was one for a little bit, but he's just a little bit rare. And then we're going to look at some of these guys in the amethyst tier. These guys are all liquid guys. You know, like literally look at my collection. If I wanted to, I could go liquefy all of these if I wanted to, but I would get like 20K if I sold the whole set. So what's the point? Right? I don't think we see a drop in any of these guys. Like maybe we see a small drop in Dolph Shays tonight because people just aren't spending MT on cards. That's the only drop we're gonna see. Like KD, there's two. Like no one's selling KD right now. Once again, we're gonna see drops in weird guys like Jayson Terry probably. Like, by the way, if you can get this card for under 20k, best point guard in the game for under 20k. I'll say that like with my whole chest. I don't even care. Murray close, and I'll talk about him in a second. Like no one's getting rid of guys like Andre Karolinko or KD, Dolph Shays, etc. That being said, if you're looking to buy a Karolinko, this is the best time to do it. So this one's got an extra Hoff badge, but it's not worth the 20k edition, obviously. But if you can find one with like an additional Hoff badge for around market price, like I'm gonna swap mine out for sure. That's usually what I'm doing at this point in time. Moments cards. I wonder if we're gonna see any drop on those. Rubio, maybe. He's still worth it. A lot of people must be using Rubio because there's not that many Rubios on the market. I mean, this dude was like 30k yesterday, and now he's like 40. That's actually crazy. Miles Turner, yeah. I just don't see a lot. Kyle Lowry, it looks like his price has actually kind of gone up a little bit. He was like 10k, now he's like 18. Steady improvements, By the way, if you're looking for a budget big man, I cannot stress this enough. Like, if you're on next gen, Ha Sung Ying is the best card you can buy. Him and Aiton are fantastic. If you're on current gen though, like Rashawn Holmes is really nice. Like he's fast enough that he can, kind of keep up with the faster bigs. But then he's big enough that he out rebounds a lot of them. You can get him for like 8k. Absolutely worthwhile. What's my boy Kelly Oubre doing out here? Still being super expensive. My word. Right, what about Murray? 19k. I might have to liquefy and sell Murray. These are all liquid cards too, by the way. Mike Muscala doesn't go anywhere though. All right. Now, I mean, if you look at the limited edition cards that we got before, I mean, look, big names. Joel Embiid, Zion Williamson. I think the first batch was what? Was the first batch Gilbert and Joel? I think it might have been. It was Gilbert and someone. I think it was Gilbert and Embiid. And then the next one was Zion. And was it Zion and Paul Pierce or Zion and Westbrook? I think it was Zion and Westbrook. Yeah, because I pulled Zion. But big names. And then the last one was Chris Webber and Paul Pierce. That was for sure. Now, it doesn't seem to be any like rhyme or reason to this one. The first one, there was a rhyme or reason. You know what I mean? It was Hall of Fame induction. So I could see like Chris Webber and Paul Pierce were going to get cards. Like you kind of tell, you know what I mean? I thought Garnett was going to, but he ended up getting a level 40. So there's no rhyme or reason for these. I would expect a Tracy McGrady though. Like that's just my personal opinion. Why we haven't got a Giannis yet is because I think he's going to break the game. But Tracy McGrady, we have to see one at this point. Like this is the only Tracy McGrady we have right now. Like that's crazy to me. Wild. As always, it's been your boy Cheap Lutes. I will be streaming again tomorrow. I took the night off just because I felt like it. I'll be awake opening too many packs tomorrow. I might do like a afternoon stream, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, I'm going to drop a pack opening. I'm going to drop limited tips. I'm going to do a market video. I'm bringing back the top 10 cards under blank series this weekend, which I might record live. I don't know. I like to record things live. I think it's cool to see the little chat in the corner. You know what I mean? But anyways, don't get too overhyped on these packs. The pack odds are going to be terrible. And please, whatever you do, do not spend 300k VC on a box. Like, I don't know. If there was anything I could personally do to like make you not do that, I would do it. Outside of like harming myself or like eating bugs or something, some other fear factor related shit. But for the most part, like I would do it. Anyways, take it easy, guys. Also, like this video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, whatever. Help me out or don't, whatever. It's cool.